His Majesty's opposition this morning. It's good to see you. Let me get my glasses. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us on the programme. Where should we start? Let's start with Michelle Mone. What views on that?
I think the revelations
I'd have been more like,
were really quite shocking. It just gets murkier and murkier. It's subject to an investigation by the National Crime Agency, and I think there's civil litigation as well. But in the meantime, I think there are some questions for the government to answer about what they were aware of. You know, this happened under their watch, and Labour have said that we would set up a COVID corruption commissioner because billions of public money has been wasted on fraud, on error, and we want that money back.
Should she be allowed to return to the House of Lords?
Well, look, that's going to be a question for standards, but there are certainly questions to answer. I think probably need to see what happens with the civil and criminal investigations that are
But would you be content with her to return to the Lords to basically be in a position where she can make laws that the rest of us have to abide by?
Yeah, and I think it's deeply concerning, isn't it? And that's exactly the point about making laws that people have to abide by. And, you know, people made huge sacrifices during the pandemic. And you saw the interview yesterday where Doug Barrowman said that, yeah, it looked like they made £60 million from these two contracts. So I think there are very, very serious questions about her future.
OK. Talk to me about what's going on, as much as you know, in Gaza and the Catholic Church there, where it's reported that 2 women were shot dead by an IDF sniper. They say it wasn't us. The head of the Catholic Church here in the UK says, don't believe you.
Yeah, it's deeply concerning, these reports that have come out, and indeed a lot of the images that are coming out of Gaza. The loss of civilian life has been intolerable, which is deeply concerning to everyone. It's a really worrying situation. It's why we've said that the siege of Gaza should end, that aid needs to get in. We need to avoid humanitarian catastrophe there.
But the IDF has a case to answer, you think?
I need to look at the reports, and I'm not sure how helpful it is to sort of comment on every individual
2 women shot dead in the compound of a church.
I mean, it's incredibly alarming and disturbing.
OK. Talk to me about the NHS. You have some quite strong views about enough staff to open up operating theatres over the weekends.
Yeah, what we've said is that 2 million extra operations, scans, appointments can be carried out by using capacity at weekends and in the evenings. At the moment, surgeries, operating theatres are shut at weekends. We've got a huge backlog in NHS waiting lists, and this is a way of tackling that backlog, and it will be paid for by abolishing non-dom status. If you work here and live here, you ought to pay your taxes here, and that money should go back into our National Health Service.
But do we have enough staff?
Well, you know, NHS staff do a brilliant job, and actually where this is already happening in a very small number of hospitals, in Guy's and in Leeds, it's working really well because medical staff are getting proper remuneration for it, and I think that's one of the important points here. So, you know, it means that medical staff are getting proper remuneration, and it'll be a way of getting the backlogs down, which have soared under this Conservative government.
OK, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Really
Thanks,
appreciate it.